Year 4, we're starting obviously with Burnt Horizons, which is our first season in Australia, and all of the details are going to be revealed in another panel. But we also have obviously our 3 classic seasons afterwards. So 3 seasons, each season followed the same sort of structure that we've had in the past with 2 operators and a rework each time. Operators, as you can see in the roadmap, this time we're going to be meeting new characters from way more different nationalities, total 7 different nationalities, traveling from the US Secret Services in Season 2 and Denmark, with a pretty exciting female operator that's going to be there. Then we're going to go to Mexico and Peru for the first time in South America after Brazil and Central America, and finishing Season 4 with Kenya and India, and I'm pretty excited about that season as well because it's going to be a very interesting one. So we are introducing what we call the operator lifecycle, which is a way to make every of our post-launch operators much more accessible. As you can see, what we're doing is like every operator that is getting a year older is actually seeing a decrease in terms of pricing in credits and renown, meaning that every operator that is 12 to 24 months old is now $4 or 20,000 renown, and up until 30 months and older, where they're actually $2 and 10,000 renown.
Yeah, so 36 months and older, you'll get the cheapest operator, and that's starting season by season. So starting year 4, season 1, you'll start seeing those price decreases.
Then season 3, we have a rework of Canal. And then finally, season 4, we have a rework of Theme Park.
Theme Park, all right, let's ooh, yes.
Yeah.
That one got a response.
Didn't think that, eh?
Yes, and here we are. Let's start off with year 4, season 2, Cafe. What are we changing in Cafe?
All right, so everybody got that little sneak peek, and we'll roll the video right now. We're expanding the 2nd floor now so that you can approach objectives and have a little bit more space to play with. On the attacking side and the defending side, even Skylight is getting blocked a little so that it's a little bit safer to move around on that floor. Yeah, absolutely.
Our fans are really liking that one.
They love it. And then you can see another big change that we're making is moving the staircase on that bottom floor over.
Perfect.
And it just helps people move a lot. It was a lot of dead space. People weren't using that staircase, so moving in a place that makes sense really helps out the map.
Now, Alex, what about that pesky bomb site? Yeah, another really exciting rework is Canal. Let's take a look at that.
Yep, so this is a big one. Canal is very special because it's our map that we have 2 buildings, and you get a lot of that firefight in between the 2. And it was always a blocker moving from one to the other. So we've added a new route up top, and we've actually added a tunnel underneath as well. So you get a lot of changes coming to the red building, and you see a lot of choke points like these hallways that we're opening up. We're creating new opportunities for the attackers, for the defenders, just redefining the space a little bit more so it's not as claustrophobic.
Yeah, and what I'm hearing is that it's a lot about navigation, a lot about those angles, a lot about those choke points, taking away all the things that are frustrating about these maps.
It's a little ways away, but we do have a floor plan we want to show. Keeping things that worked, like on the first floor, Drug Lab was great, but then you get the maze that's happening to the side with gargoyles, so we want to kind of streamline that a little bit more and balance the lighting. Right now, Theme Park is a map that's super, super dark in some places, super bright in some places, so kind of averaging it out so that it's easier for players to recognize what's happening. Cool. And then on the 2nd floor, we're actually taking a look at that connecting hallway where you have the train cars. It's very hard to flush out defenders. There's so many hiding spots. And we're also going to be taking a look at the twin staircase there too.
Yeah, this is really exciting because this is the first time we've ever shown a year 4 season 4 map tease in a year 4 panel, which is really cool to see. So you get a full look at all the stuff that we're working on, and
research all the way through to audio and art. And it's going to be a great year for year 4 for balancing because we're dedicated, and that whole team is entirely on that. It's going to be great.
Now, we saw in the video a little glimpse at some of the operators, and we can't talk about balancing without talking about the 800-pound lion in the room.
Okay, let's do it.
So let's talk about lion. What are we doing to improve lion in year 4?
Right, so with lion, The first thing we're doing is we're getting rid of the outline. That's out, that's going away. The next thing, okay. The next big thing is the time. He's being halved. It was 7 seconds, 3 seconds of countdown, and then 4 seconds of effective time. Now it's going to be 1.5 to 2, and then 2 seconds of actually scanning. These two changes, we're confident, will take him to a place where he's still lying, but he's not an operator that's going to help you kill people. He's an operator who's going to assist in gaining intel, and that's pretty much it. He will tell you someone's above him.
Yeah, he's moving into a role that's more that he was designed to be, that intel operator, and less that really frustrating kind of operator where it just you get killed and you feel frustrated by it.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah. Really big change to the Lion. Another little hint that we saw was at Glaz. What's happening with Glaz in year 4?
So Glaz, another unintended behavior happened with him. He became a very, very strong pusher on site. He became a bit too good in close quarters. So what we've done is we've linked his IR scope to his movement. Now that means that you can, if you want to, go slower, push, 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 and you can still gain that advantage of seeing through smoke and getting the yellow highlight. But it means that it's a lot more of a skill game. It's less of a everyone can do it pretty easily. The other thing that we did with this that is going to be very important is we pushed him to be much more of a sniper role. He capitalizes on your mistakes. He holds an angle, and you can see this in this video. He's there waiting for you to make a mistake, and when you make a mistake, he capitalizes on it. He gets you, and you don't know where from.
So he's more of that classic sniper role instead of the entry fragger that.
Exactly. No more entry fragging Glaz.
No more entry fragging Glaz. I think our fans are going to really love that. So that's a really cool look at some of the design changes that are coming to Glaz and Lion coming in the first half of year 4. Now let's talk about a secondary gadget that doesn't usually get a lot of love. We haven't changed this since the launch of the season. The deployable shield. How is that changing in the future?
So, iconic and underused is the way we'd describe this. So what we did with this one is we realized the problems with it, which is placement is frustrating, and you've got these tiny gaps between doors. You've got these tiny gaps that you can be seen through. And what we wanted to do is make it more comfortable to position and make it more like you can actually play the game. There's something happening behind the shield, but before you couldn't see it, you couldn't interact with it. And now you're going to have those small slits that you can...
Here we're getting our first look at the new design. Yeah.
There we go. So those small slits, they're bulletproof glass, they're mirrors, and basically that will allow Glaz to no longer do this. But also those windows will allow the person behind the shield to see what's happening in front of them and make a move, because before maybe you weren't sure what was there.
Yeah, and just to be clear, you can't shoot through those slits. Yeah.
No shooting.
So they're just there for visuals.
Yeah.
And gathering intel. This really becomes more of an intel gathering tool than anything. Yeah. It's
an intel gathering tool, and it's also going to have an impact, right? You see one of these, and as an attacker, you think, ooh, maybe I don't rush that. The other thing great about this is we've kept all the destruction mechanics the same, so it's going to be destroyed by grenades, dash charges, all these things, which means that it's still the shield you know and love.
Starting with that Dokkaebi change and the mute interaction.
I'm excited for this one. So we kind of approached this together, which was quite fun. So now mute will get a small buff icon. It's actually hidden by my in picture, but you will see a blue icon appear when you're in range of the mute jammer, which will allow the defenders to better utilize that utility of mute. And then on that as well, mute jammers will now hang up the phone call when you walk into them. So you can see here, it's gone. It's a cleanse.
Yeah, so if we're talking about like video game terms, you have a debuff and walking into a mute jammer cleanses you.
Exactly. It's going to mean that mute has much more potential for placing his jammers in not just reinforced walls or drone holes. It's more flexible.
Yeah, another thing, we changed the timing of it as well.
Yeah, so this one's great. After 18 seconds, the time that we've worked with pro players in pro player feedback to fine-tune, the hang-up will happen automatically after 18 seconds. So you'll still get the advantage of Dokkaebi being able to pinpoint those roamers, but at the same time, it's not going to annoy you 2 minutes into the game. Yep.
But there's another one that we hinted at.
Yeah.
Capital.
So This one's a big one for us. It's been worked on for a while, and it initially started as a bug fix because this is unintentional. So what we've done now is we've completely reworked the propagation system, and now you will get a much more reliable firebolt. It will propagate into the area it should do, but also on top of that, we've reduced the damage, so it's less of a frag grenade and it's much more of a area denial, and you can maybe push a defender off a position with it, rather than using it as a frag grenade.
Right, so it allows a little bit of map control to
Exactly.
the attacking team.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting stuff. And now let's take a look at another secondary gadget that's going to be getting a little bit of a change, the breach charge. We haven't changed the breach charge since launch. So what are we doing to this?
Yet again, an iconic and underused. So this one, we've reduced the animation time, so it's going to deploy much quicker, it's going to be much safer to use. And then, on top of that, we've tweaked the damage. So the damage fall-off before was very intense, close-up, and it was quite big. What we've done is on the attacker side, we've reduced that so that you'll be safer to use it, less killing your station. What we've done is we can see the videos, we've taken a first pass at it, lots of maths. This is the current one, and this isn't what we want. So, instead, this is what we have now. No? Okay. There we go. So, no more flapping heads. No more flapping heads.
Obviously, I want to reiterate that this is
Right. So we've been working on this for a while now. If you check out the video, what happens when you kill a friend is you'll actually be sanctioned. So you'll get a warning for dealing damage to a friendly teammate, and then once you get sanctioned, any damage you do will be reversed onto you.
yeah, and there you can see clearly there's an indicator that, you know, this is, you're now in the reverse friendly fire danger zone, and,
Yes.
and then your next kill will kill yourself.
That'll last for the entirety of the match, and it was important to make sure that